Hello, everybody. This is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Part 5, Chapter 27. Alexey Alexandrovich forgot the Countess Lydia Ivanovna, but she didn't forget him. She reached his house at the very moment of solitary despair when he sat motionless, with his head between his hands. She didn't wait to be announced, but made her way to Karenin's library. Je forçai la consigne, she said, as she came in with rapid steps, breathless with emotion and agitation. I know all, Alexey Alexandrovich, my friend, and she pressed his hand between her own and looked at him from the depths of her beautiful eyes. Alexey Alexandrovich, with a frown, arose, and, having withdrawn his hand, offered her a chair. I beg you to sit down. I'm not receiving because I'm suffering, Countess, he said, as his lips quivered. My friend, repeated the Countess, without taking her eye from him. She lifted her eyebrows so that they formed a triangle on her forehead, and this grimace made her naturally ugly face still more ugly than before. Alexey Alexandrovich understood that she was on the point of crying from pity, and his heart softened towards her. He seized her fat hand and kissed it. My friend, she said again, in a voice half stifled with emotion, you must not give yourself up in this way to your grief. It's great, but you must try to conquer it. I'm wounded. I'm killed. I'm no longer a man, said Alexey Alexandrovich, letting go of the Countess's hand and still looking at her with eyes full of tears. My situation's all the more unbearable, because I can find neither in myself nor outside of myself any help toward endurance of it. You'll find this help not in me, though I beg you believe in my friendship. Our help is love, the love which he has given for an inheritance. His yoke is easy, she continued, with the exalted look that Karenin knew so well. He will hear you, and he will give you his aid. These words were sweet to Alexey Alexandrovich, albeit they were the sign of a new mystical exaltation just introduced into Petersburg. I'm weak. I'm humiliated. I foresaw nothing of this, and now I can't understand it. My friend, repeated the Countess, I do not mourn so much as my loss, said Alexey Alexandrovich, but I can't help a feeling of shame for the situation in which I am placed in the eyes of the world. It's bad, and I can't bear it. It's not you who have performed this noble act of forgiveness which has filled me with envy. It is he dwelling in your heart. So, too, you have no cause for shame, said the Countess, ecstatically raising her eyes. Karenin frowned, and pressing his hands together, he made his knuckles crack. You must know all the details, he said in a shrill voice. Man's powers are limited, Countess, and I've reached the limit of mine. All this day I've wasted in domestic details, arising, he accented the word, from my new, lonely situation. The servants, the governess, the accounts, this is a slow fire devouring me, and I've not strength to endure it. Yesterday at dinner, I can't contain myself. I can't endure to have my son look at me. He didn't dare to ask me any questions, and I didn't dare to look at him. He was afraid to look at me. That's a mere trifle. Karenin wanted to speak of the bill that had been brought to him. His voice trembled and he stopped. This bill on blue paper, for a hat and ribbons, was a recollection that made him pity himself. I understand, my friend, I understand it all. Aid and consolation you'll not find in me, but I have come to help you if I can. If I could take from you these petty annoying tasks, I think that a woman's word, a woman's hand are needed. Will you let me help you? Karenin was silent, pressed his hand gratefully. We'll look after Serozha together. I'm not strong in practical affairs, but I can get used to them, and I will be your ekonomka. Don't thank me. I do not do it of myself. I can't help but being grateful. But, my friend, do not yield to the sentiment of which you spoke a moment ago. How can you be ashamed of what is the highest degree of Christian perfection? He who humbles himself shall be exalted. And you can't thank me. Thank him. Pray to him for help. In him alone we can find peace, consolation, salvation, and love. She raised her eyes to heaven, and Alexey Alexandrovich felt that she was praying. Alexey Alexandrovich listened to her, and his phraseology, which once was unpleasant to him, now seemed natural and soothing. He didn't approve this new ecstatic mysticism which was now so fashionable. He was a sincere believer, and religion interested him principally in its relation to politics. Thus this new teachings aroused his antipathy from principle. The Countess had not his approval in her enthusiastic acceptation of them, but instead of discussing the subject with her, he generally turned the conversation or didn't reply. But now he let her speak without hindrance, and even found a secret pleasure in her words. "I'm very grateful to you, both for your words and for your sympathy," he said, when she had ended her prayer. Again, the Countess pressed her friend's hand. "Now I'm going to set to work," said she with a smile, wiping away the traces of tears on her face. "I'm going to Seroja, and I shall not trouble you except in serious difficulties." The Countess Lydia Ivanovna arose and went to the boy, and while she bathed the scared little fellow's cheeks with her tears, she told him that his father was a saint, and his mother was dead. The Countess fulfilled her promise. She took charge of the details of Alexey Alexandrovitch's house, but she exaggerated in no respect when she declared that she was not strong in practical affairs. It's impossible to carry out her orders, and they were not executed, and the management gradually came into the hands of Cornet, the valet. He by degrees wanted his master to listen, while he was dressing, to such reports as he deemed it best to make. The Countess's help was none the less useful, however. Her affection and esteem were a moral support to him, and to her consolation she almost succeeded in converting him. At least his lukewarmness, through her influence, was changed into a fervent and genuine sympathy for Christian instruction, such as shortly after came into vogue in Petersburg. This conversion was not difficult. Alexey Alexandrovitch, as well as the Countess and all those who fell under the sway of the new ideas, were not gifted with great imagination, or at least that faculty of mind by which the illusions of the imagination have sufficient conformity with reality to cause their acceptation. Thus he saw no impossibility or unlikelihood in death existing for unbelievers, and not for him, his soul being already free from sin because he held a complete and unquestioning faith, judged in his own way, or that even in this world he might look upon the safety as assured. Nevertheless, the frivolity, the error of these doctrines often struck him. He then felt how much deeper was the joy caused by the irresistible feeling that impelled him to grant honest pardon, that from that caused by the constant thought that Christ dwelt in his soul, and that by signing certain papers he was following his will. But illusory as this moral loftiness was, it was indispensable in his present humiliation. He felt the imperious necessity of looking down from the height of his imaginary elevation upon those who despised him, and he clung to his new convictions as to the plank of safety.